I am live. I'm back again, back in each and good morning on this UK is morning, good evening, good some cases, good well safe. Please like button on your way in to put it nice. As I said, button on your way in, the message pinned to this. As England versus it off, I'll be start free shit if you hit the end the game and whatnot with me, man. Hopefully some things like that. Oh, this voting again moment in time. What on brother? Am I calm now? So not only are we having green screen problems, the whole setup is messed, people. Am I good now? I know a lot of you, bro. You lot are on me. Yeah, trust me. Am I sounding good now, or is it still robotic in that? All right, cool. As you lot can tell, people, the internet's not been. I don't know what it is, people, man. When DG Nation blows, we'll have sat in that thingy, man. Someone that takes care of all of this, man. I don't know what was going on there. It seems like there's a problem with my green screen. There's a problem with the audio. Serious issues. Man said they didn't press the robot button. That killed me, man. Audio's deluded. Cams, fair play. You know, that's a cheap joke. You know, fair play. You know, it's funny still. Apologies for that, man. Again, you lot were on to it, innit? Yeah, we're all good. We're all good. As I said, man, people deluded are back again. I don't even know if you lot heard me, but like I said, please check out the pin message and things like that. I hope you're doing it well and safe. Why every Sunday? I don't know what you're on about, though, my guy, but fair play. I don't know what you mean every Sunday, but fair play. Nah, bro, it can't be the internet because I'm connected wirelessly. I mean, in terms of wired. In fact, I'm connected both ways. I don't know what it is, people, because it's like I leave the spot. I'm a guy. Once I find something fixed, people, I don't try to fix it even more. So literally, I leave the spot the same way I've left it, and I've literally from yesterday, and I've come back. I don't understand what's going on, boy. It is what it is, man. It is what it is, man. Trust me, Zanos, asking what he means, but big up Neil because you're always here, but I don't know what you mean there, my guy. I really don't know what you mean. Obviously, internet problems, connectivity problems, audio problems, they can't stop the thing. We're adaptable, man. We keep moving, we keep going. Obviously, I'm sure a lot of you are hopeful when you see we've been linked with Maddison again. Obviously, depends on what you define as hopeful and all of those sort of things. Hopefully, it is something that's actually decent. What was I going to do now? Apologies, people. Again, was actually going to check what I go on for this, in my opinion, see what's going on, get to the bulk of this reason, people, as to what's going on with the live stream. So let me check YouTube's admin just to make sure everything is all blessed and them things there, man. It is what it is, man. Seems all good. If it's not all good, then it's going tits up in it. It is what it is, man. These things happen, man. Big up everyone who's hit the like button on the live watch along for later anyways, people. Now, again, at the risk of, I don't even know if everything is working how it's supposed to, but I've dropped the link in the chat. Please hit the like button if you can't be there. Do what you can. You know, every like button drives up the engagement, man. Smash the like button, as you said. So yeah, man. Wait, DG, you're doing a watch along for the final. What a guy. Thought it was an outside thing. As I told you lot, man. As I told you lot, the only way I wasn't gonna do a watch along is if I got tickets to the final. I was unlucky in my quest, man. I tried so hard. You know, we've all got a budget. My budget was going up to 350. You know, I would have even probably done 400 quid on the ticket. I tried my best to get one. I would have loved to have been there. That would have been the only reason I would not have done a watch along. And to be fair, you know, you lot always don't see this, but all the bad them are shouting me, we're going this place, we're going that place, I'm doing that, we're doing this, you know. And I was like, listen, I'll be active after, because I deeped it. You know, the night is still young if we win. Obviously, I'll activate as soon as the live stream is done. But if we lose, I'm in my yard, didn't it? I'm not in the pub. I'm not in Central. I should show some of my man them that are geezers, bro. They're in the pub already getting lit, bro. They've been there since 10 a.m., 9 a.m. Them and they're on it, people. You know, I wish I was on that really, but you know, I would love to. You know, not everyone's got the community I have. You know, I chose to jump into this line of work. I got to see it through to the end. And plus, what sort of guy would I have been if, you know, we're doing up Euro watch-alongs, we're doing the group stages, and then we finally got to the final, and then suddenly I've done a Houdini. I think everybody would have probably forgiven me if I got tickets for the final. You can't begrudge a guy for wanting to go to a final of something that's not at his doorstep, but at his doorstep, man. So anyone who's out there, you know, take your shot. You know what? Fuck it. It's not even a shot thing. If you got the Stella and them thing there, you know, I know there's geezers listening with the leg tats and that, the numerous club leg tats and that, and the Free Lions. Do up a drink for the guy, man. You know, Peter's normally here. Peter and what's his face, man? The next man's normally here with the whiskey and that. Big up DG. Couldn't watch the stream for a few days now, but I hope you're doing good, man. MZ, I'm good, my guy, man. I hope you're doing well and safe. I hope you're good, man. Opinions on Brazil versus Argentina last night. I was gonna do a watch along, but I was knackered for that. I see Curtis Shaw, big up my guy, smashed it, man. I might have been able to get 500,000 likes as a view. Sorry if I did that, man. Shout out to Curtis. But yeah, man, I watched it. It weren't really a lit final, just bare fouls and that. Messi stunk up the joint, but I'm a Brazil fan. I'm happy for Messi though. Obviously, you see what it meant to him. He finally puts to bed some of those dead, you can't do it and whatnot, you know. Fantastic finish from Di Maria, poor defending. You know, Richarlison was moving like a fraud, but other than that, it was all right, man. It weren't really what we would expect Brazil, Argentina, if we're real with ourselves, but it is what it is. Big up Matt, man. He's just simply saying, looking forward to your watch along later. My guy, I hope so, but now that I deep it, I don't know, man. You know, Italians might be on a villain thing. Hopefully it's not, man. Andrew kills me. Said DG, hope you're good, bro. Emi Martinez, best keeper in the Copa America. Not that it's hard. Another L for Arsenal. DG, we're running that agenda. Fair play, run your agenda, man. Shout out to Martinez, but I wouldn't even call it an Arsenal agenda, bro. That's a Mikel Arteta agenda. Car all us fans didn't want Martinez to go. You know, nothing to do with me. Them man, they got to hold that one on their own, man. Your stream bucked last night. It shut down. To be fair with you, Neil, it happens so many times. It's gone. It goes over my head. But shout out to you for remembering, man. Maybe someone's doing something to the guy on a Sunday, man. Who knows what's going on in that regard? They're doing the guy dirty, man. Yo, DG, happy Sunday, bro. Hope it comes home today. Big up yourself, K, and I hope so as well, man. Just for the Sterlings and the, you know, the Grealishes and the Sackers and the rest of them, man. The cool ones in the team and all those sort of things, man. Is where it is, man. How much was ticket prices, bro? Like the last time I had an opportunity and it was 250. I was on the ticket hunt yesterday. You know, like I said, the budget was four bills. I thought I could grab one. Someone I hollered just sold them before I got to them, and I saw someone saying a bag. You know, £1,000. If you don't know what I'm talking about, like obviously I'd love to go, but £1,000 is a bit steep still. Like shout out to everyone whose budget is that long still. It is what it is. In that regard, big up yourself, K, man. Happy birthday. Hopefully it's a birthday to remember, provided you're supporting England. If you're not supporting England, big up yourself. Hope you have a good birthday. And I don't know, bro, it's your birthday. I respect you for tuning in, but don't spend it with me, man. Go and grab a juice or, you know, go do something, man. But I appreciate it. Happy birthday. Obviously, if you're an England fan, happy birthday even more. Hopefully we give you some positivity. If you lose, it's an L. Obviously, happy birthday to my guy Steph as well, man. Real Wrongins member. It's his birthday as well. I don't know what it is, but hella people that I know birthday today, man. It is what it is. Zanos, I can't lie to you. Richarlison's these new Brazilian youths in that they're half strikers, half wingers. Man, don't really know what you're on. You ain't really. He's got tech, but the man they ain't really got the Brazilian tech. You know, like there's none of them. I don't know, man. Are they even going into favelas and that again? I don't know where the real Brazilian players are. The flashy and the showmanship and the individuality and stuff. Obviously, there's a couple of them, but I just feel the Brazilians of today, them man, they are robots, man. They're not really the techie. They got tech in that, but like obviously Neymar's there. He's an exception to the rule, but they're not really there, man. I like Richarlison. I sign him still if I'm Arsenal guy. If I could sign him for Arsenal or anywhere else, but I can't lie, he's meaty. So he's one of them. One game you think there's something here. The next game you're thinking he's robbed. And then he does some decent stuff in it. It's just a workhorse thing, man. It's just a workhorse thing with these new youths, man. These new Brazilian guys. Like I said, none of them are really sick and that again. Like Neymar's sick. I like Gab Jesus, but looking around that Brazil squad, who's really messed? Like, who's messed? No one's messed. Like, even with a ball, nobody's messed. Bro, Fred's moving Buki as well. Fred stunk up the place in that final as well. But it is where it is, man. A bag, you know. Let's get into it, man. Maddison to Arsenal would be a match. It would. We all know it's not happening, in it, but let's dream, in it. Let's dream. The dream is free. The hustle is sold separately. So let's get into this Maddison business now. Let me see if there's actually any actual official reports, because I've actually only seen the AFC Bell tweet it. Like I said, he'll always have my allegiances, because when the world was saying we're not grabbing Partey, we're not doing this, we're not doing that, he stood firm. He stood in his shoes, and he wore it on his chest and said, "No, we're actually getting Partey," and he came. So obviously you can't use that, but that's my credibility for me. But he has said, James Maddison. Obviously, I can't speak Arabic. You just saw I pressed Google Translate. Shout out to my native tongue Arabs out there. So yeah, if you know, the English courtesy of Google doesn't help me, obviously help the man them out if you understand what's going on. But I have not got the luxury of speaking Arabic. Would love to speak Arabic, mind you, or at least be able to read it. But courtesy of Google Translate, as you can see, James Maddison camp expects a move and an attempt from Arsenal in the coming weeks to sign the player. The club, through its lobbying and back channels, offered James Maddison a 4+1 contract, so a 5-year deal, a salary nearly double what he earns at Leicester, and the opportunity to wear the iconic number 10. So let's be real. From a sporting perspective, obviously a year, 2 years from now, I can flip it on his head. But I'd say arguably in the last maybe 3 to 4 years, you know, definitely the last 2, there's not a sporting reason to sign for Arsenal. You know, you look at the manager. Can Mikel Arteta improve you more than Brendan Rodgers? He might be able to. You can point to Mikel Arteta improving some players, but there's evident improvement with Brendan Rodgers as a collective and what he's doing. And arguably, Brendan Rodgers, not even arguably, he is more experienced. You see him at Liverpool. I'm sure if Brendan Rodgers got the Liverpool job again, he would do things differently. You know, his handling of Sterling and actually what he was doing courtesy of the back papers, if you know, with Sterling, which is what stops me from actually liking Brendan Rodgers. You know, he's learned his lessons. So there's more evidence, if you showed Leicester, so if you showed Fofana at St. Etienne and him under Leicester, I'm not saying there'll be evident improvement, but you'll see an improvement in him, in Sayuncu, in James Maddison in the last couple of years he's been at Leicester. And the same goes James Justin, the same goes everywhere. At Arsenal, you have to cherry pick. You can't say there's evidence. So can the manager improve you? Can they offer you a better sporting project? Yeah, Leicester, let's be real, after leading for such a long time, they've bottled Champions League football 2 years in a row. But they're in Europe. We're not in Europe, Obviously, I'm not going to lie. I do think playing for Arsenal, like you see with Saka, it doesn't, it does allow you to get into the national teams looking and stuff. And maybe Arsenal could boost Leicester's his chances. But you'd imagine it's not really relevant. So they're playing in Europe. They've got what looks like a better manager. They've got a better unit of squad players, a better unit of a squad. The squad, it all ties into each other. Everybody's playing well. There's not a single reason to sign for Arsenal, apart from what once was this glorious club, apart from what legitimately Arteta could tell you, apart from the fact that you could be a leader of a new school, the London aspect and things like that. There's reasons to sign for Arsenal, but the thing is, there's many reasons to not sign for Arsenal. So I would like James Maddison, but I would question mark you in your prime. Why would you sign here? You get your foot down, you keep doing what you're doing at Leicester, and who knows, City, Chelsea, these teams that can offer you better will come for you. But let's be serious. The chance to wear the same shirt as Dennis Bergkamp, the Arsenal factor, our name holds weight. And obviously he's a Midlands lad. His career has just been uni tours. Obviously, he's from them Coventry sides. He went to Norwich, again, uni sort of trip. And now he's gone to Leicester, which is, again, back at the Midlands, so he's closer to his family. Does he want to take that jump? Come and take it. Obviously, they want 60 million. So unless Joe Willock, you get your 30 for him, Granit Xhaka gets a move on with Roma, which we'll get into, seems a bit, we don't know what's going on there. We don't know what's going on in it. So I can't really see how the money falls out the sky before we've officially confirmed this, the signing of Ben White, which is a centre half, a first choice right back. Obviously LOKONGA seems like it will be confirmed, but we have to see. I would love James Maddison, it sounds about right. It doesn't surprise me that, Arsenal haven't made an official bid. We haven't been rejected. It hasn't been accepted. We haven't made it. Obviously this is the background work. That's what you do. You filter things out via middlemen and whatnot and agents and see gauge if James Maddison, which appears at face value that he would be open in theory, seeing what a contract would look like, bonuses, length of contract, all of these sort of things. So that's why you always see, you saw it with Jadon Sancho, personal terms agreed, they need to find an agreement with with Dortmund now. You see that all the time, so it wouldn't surprise me. You know, many signings that we haven't signed, we've probably done all of that. Crucially, what it comes down to, do Leicester want to sell? Do Arsenal want to buy? The question for Arsenal, yeah, we want to buy allegedly. They don't want to sell. Make them an offer they can't refuse. Now, for me, you know, Harry Maguire costs 80 or so million. I'm looking at a similar fee. I'll be saying 80 to 100 for Maddison. Because of the COVID discount, because maybe Maddison you've heard he's got beef with Rodgers, because of, you know, there's probably never been a better time to try and buy players. We might get a 60 million, which again, you still probably have to, you know, that would be a good signing, but you still have to cough it up. And Leicester, obviously, you're not going to give them the whole 60 in one go, but the way you could structure payments to Leicester is completely different to what Brighton might accept, or what Brighton didn't want to accept, or what Buendia's old club Norwich didn't want to accept, in which when we went for Zaha with Palace, they didn't want to accept. And when you look at Leo with Pepe, with Gabriel, these sort of players, they would, you know. You know, we're lucky. Obviously, you have to pay the release clause of Partey up front, but that was 45 million. And if there was no release clause, Thomas Partey wouldn't be an Arsenal player, in my opinion. So we'll have to see. Of course, I would love Maddison. You know, he's got the healthy bit between his teeth and the chip on his shoulder. So I would welcome a signing of Maddison, but it is what it is. It's gone on to say Arsenal's seriousness was evident as the spies informed the players' camp that the club saw it as the primary target this window. The club's vigor was well received by the camp and the player alike. He understands that Maddison openly discussed with his inner circle the idea of leaving Leicester and joining Arsenal. So yeah, if we can confirm the signing of Smith Rowe, get in my man, that would be good. Bring me a centre half, I'd be on it, man, because I actually feel James Maddison long term could play as an 8, but that's a 10 for us, man. That's what you call a 10, because for me, ability is one thing. We've been having players that are good technically and they can play well where sun is shining, and you know, you can tell that the Arsenal ground staff have really gone to town, making the Emirates nice. It's glistening. We can all play when that is, but when times are getting hard and the dominoes fall, only a couple man stand up to be counted. The Haaland boys in Saka and Smith Rowe, typically Gabriel, Tierney, the rest of them, you know, not everyone does that. I think Maddison's got that about him. He wants to play in difficult situations. So, you know, the only thing I would say to put a down note on this is he can be open to leaving Leicester as much as he wants. We can want him as much as he wants. It comes that we can talk with his middlemen and whatnot as much as we want. You know, it doesn't surprise me that he's open to joining Arsenal. And Arsenal are crap by our previous standards, but there's still some sort of a pull, some sort of an openness. We're not the first choice. And if he does become available, other clubs are going to circle. But, you know, if you get the deal done and you move with intent, you should have half a chance. But like I said, it comes down to, do you want to pay the money? And I don't know where this money comes from. We hear war chest. We know Arsenal's got more money than they lead on. But where's it going to come from? To us fans, we're of the belief that we need to sell before we can buy. In theory, you sell Xhaka for 20 million euros. If Roma want to pay that, 30 million pounds for Joe Willock, that brings you closer towards it. And then there's a couple of others and whatnot, people. Moving away from that, shout out AFC Bell, man. This every little Arabic paragraph I see gives me more and more, it gasses me more and more. Information. Arsenal does not seem despair of its chances in this file. There is a realism in the atmosphere with the difficulty of the deal, but the club does not believe that it's impossible or a losing battle that he should not enter. We know how painstaking it is to say no guarantees the deal will happen, but it's not dead before it's born. But that's the exact description now. So it's not going to happen, but there's more intention to getting it done than people would lead you to believe. It's a bit more than paper talk. It's a little less than actually doing something. It's just a bit more than just talk. It's actually, yeah, it is what it is, just talk, really. Apparently, they went on to say, we reached out to James Maddison's direct agents for comment on the information below, and no denials have come out as of the time this series of tweets went live. It is possible that some journalists will issue a denial of what we have mentioned in the coming days, but we trust the source of our information and stick to what we have. And yeah, man, I'm going to stick to what you lot are saying, man. Any more? And big up my man, AFCGB, so whatever, man. He's right, you know, he's right. 99 FIFA card for that. So obviously it gasses us as Arsenal fans and whatnot. Let's see if there's any other things circulating, people. And whatnot. Obviously, make sure you're at the England versus Italy watch along. Let me slap that in the comments for you. Make sure you hit the like button. Let me see if there's any other reports in relation to James Maddison. Right, you know, AFC Bell's made it now. Kai's doing that. I'm not really going to click that. what's this, caught offside. It said Liverpool, Leicester City start expecting Arsenal approach with chances of signing midfielder increased by players' preference to wear iconic shirt number. I mean, if just signing for the 10 to have a 10 shirt at Arsenal, is it? You'd have to question in people really and truly. So we'll have to see, man. Obviously, it's an extra carrot, but we'll have to see. For what it's worth, you know, there's Arsenal would love to do it, but I would, you know, I'd love to talk to Beyonce. It's not gonna happen, is it? So we have to see what's going on, people. So hopefully. Allegedly, but of course it's going to learn what once Arsenal move. Allegedly, that's what I feel with that. We'll get into the Xhaka business in a sec, but yeah, what are you guys saying, people? Because you know that was I was talking for quite a while there, man. Big up DG. I think Maddison would want to be a part of improving our position as a club, especially with him being in the spotlight as the probable marquee signing. Exactly. You know, leader of the new school, you know, young, innovative, and hungry. Yeah, we might not be in the champs or in the Euros, but we've got a young manager. We've got we've got a couple English players on the, you know, coming on the scene, you know, Ben White, assuming he joins as well. You know, whatever you think about Holding, Chambers, Smith Rowe, Saka, all of these guys, obviously where other people might not be English, there's other people that are young. So it could mean that, and you know, Arsenal is still Arsenal. It still looks good on the CV. Fair play to Leicester, but football ends tomorrow, and I respect Leicester and what they do, and no disrespect. You know, what looks better on the CV? I played for Arsenal. I played for Leicester. You know, as much as poor as Arsenal are, and I don't care about that, and I'd rather be in Leicester's camp because they're, you know, we can't go waffle on about the past, but there's that. Now, like I said, crucially, I'd have to, not that I'd have to question your sporting ambitions. It's just like, as a bit of a naive question. What could we offer you that you can't? Because you're improving. You know, you can't say your England chances aren't bettered or harmed at either club. You're still going to get a look in if you're doing your job. And obviously, you know, Maddison's unfortunate that you see Foden and the rest of them getting a look in ahead of him. You know, that's nothing to do with either club. You're in Europe. Brendan Rodgers, again, things can change in the year, but Brendan Rodgers, it looks like you can learn a lot more from him than Arteta. I'm not saying you can't learn anything from him, you know, but you're right, raising the profile of the club, helping us get back to where we wanted to be. While I don't want to mention it, we need to be real. There is a degree of the London element and things like that. So I would love him at the club. Hopefully, Maitland-Niles, who seems to be good friends with him to some degree, can put in a little word and whatnot. But yeah, man, you're right still. You know, but crucially for me, bro, it comes down to money, innit? He can be open as much as he likes. He can do his bit, force a move if it was to happen. But it comes down to if we're going to pay them, structure the deals and probably pay them up front. And probably, like we saw with Buendia, potentially be prepared to pay way more for James Maddison than he's quote unquote worth. You know, you might pay a couple of million you might pay a couple of million more or whatever, but you know, with resale value, shirt sellers, the rest of them, is what it is. You know, it does appear big. I don't know if he was an Arsenal fan and things, but he does seem admirable of Arsenal and Mesut Ozil and things, and the chance to wear a 10 would be amazing. But it comes down to money. Will we put the money on the table? Will we be prepared to overpay? Will we not mess around and show intensity with this move? So we'll have to probably see. Any move, in my opinion, for Maddison will probably be the last of our dealings, because it does. I'm not going to say we have more pressing matters, because this is as pressing, but you know, we need to sort out get through LOKONGA. For me, look what we're doing at centre half. Probably need to do, if a move of this scale with the money involved, you need to sort out who's leaving the club. You know, Torreira, Xhaka, you know, Bellerin, anyone that's linked with a move, that Joe Willett, Maitland-Niles, decisions need to be made on them. So yeah, and obviously, you know, you grab Ben White, you grab Maddison, you got Smith Rowe, you got Saka, you got young English players, leaders of the new school, and maybe our English project will work out better than Jenkinson, Jack Wilshere, Ramsey, and Oxlade Chamberlain, and all of these sort of British guys that we tried before and it didn't really bang. Obviously, there's a bit of nitpicking you could do, but I'm being a bit unfair, but you get the point. So yeah, we'll have to see what happens in relation to James Maddison, really, man. So yeah, if it's 60 million, I would do it for what it's worth. You know, it does. Unfortunately, anyone listening, we don't make the difference, but I would do it. You know, I personally would do it. I think you can make that 60 million back in terms of player sales. I think it's a signing that will pay for itself. You know, again, you're probably not going to make your 60 back, but it'll be a good signing for us. He'll sell some shirts, you know. It will work out, man. It will work out, but we don't know, man. And to be honest, the longer you leave moving for it, Leicester are gonna have to look for a replacement. So they're gonna dig their heels in. So the quicker you can move along with these sort of things, the better, in my humble opinion. But we'll have to see what happens in that regards, man. Hit the like button if you haven't already, folks, please. It is what it is in that regards. I'd describe it as a step backwards as well, to be fair with you, because there's nothing we could offer him right now. You know, if you want to put Arsenal in the seat, I'm not going to begrudge you if you come. I just can't see why you time for us, really, you know. But what have you said, Neil? Do you remember the interview he done with Henry in the lockdown? In lockdown, he said Henry was his favorite. Have to be one of them vibes and money. To be fair, you know, Henry's probably Bearman's favorite, but you can't be looking at it like that, because that's naive. In my opinion, he shouldn't be looking at it like that, because you need to ask yourself, is Arsenal the best place for you to improve? Do you think you can improve it? Do you think Arsenal can offer you whatever it is that you're not getting at Leicester? I hope the rumours of him and Rodgers not seeing eye to eye, I hope him maybe wanting a new challenge because he's been at Leicester, I hope all of these things, you know, make Arsenal have a stronger reason to get him. But if he does become available like that, again, you never know what City are doing. You hear Grealish, Kane, you know, suddenly what happens if Villa say, you know what, well, we don't need 100, we need a 150, and City say, you know what, forget that. Naturally, are you not going to look at Maddison and City and Arsenal? No contest. You know, Liverpool, I don't know for their bread, but they must take a chance. Chelsea, they'll surely take a chance on him. Again, who knows? I mean, Football Manager, he always gets bought by Barcelona and PSG, so you never know what could happen. But, you know, I personally feel there's never been a better chance, because it feels that, with respect to Maddison, his stock is at the lowest at this moment. He's not in the England squad, a lot of these things, but you need to do it and give, I feel anyways, give Leicester a decent chance to replace him, because the longer you drag their heels, the longer they're going to drag their heels, you know. It's like Villa clocked, you know what, let's get this Buendia move done early. Norwich, they've probably got their replacement lined up. Let's get our guy. They can have the money that we've given them to get their replacement. It's cool. You know, suddenly if Aston Villa drag their heels all summer and it gets to the last, you know, week of August and they start saying this and that, you know, Norwich still might sell him, but they might say, you know what, if you want him, we need extra 10 million because we thought you lot was going to do this earlier. Now we need to find a replacement. And naturally, if you think about it, if you're selling a guy and you have a replacement in mind, and I own the club of the replacement signing you want, I'm gonna say, hang on a minute, you just sold your guy, so I'm gonna need X amount of bread. I know you're desperate. If you don't want to pay it, cool, F off, someone else will. You see how it becomes a cycle sort of thing. So again, the quicker we move, the better. Like I said, I don't think we'll move for Maddison without. When I say bulk of our business, I don't know, innit, but at least I don't think we'll make an aggressive, by Arsenal standards, move for Maddison unless we deal with, you know, until we see a resolution over what's going on with the Torreiras, with the Xhakas, you know, these guys that are half in, half out the club. Until we see a bit more movement, Kolasinac, Willian, until we see a bit more movement in that regards, I don't think we're going to see a move for Maddison. I just believe the way Arsenal operate, they're going to try and confirm, in addition to Tavares, the LOKONGA deal, you know, Ben White, all of these sort of things. And when what's all said and done, then we might be aggressive and really try. Whether that will happen is another thing. But who knows, man? Who knows? It'd be a good statement of intent, really. We'll have to see, man. Leicester will want a lot of money up front for me. No buy now, pay later business. Arsenal are looking at paying between 65, 80 million. Leicester want around 60 million. Leicester want 60 around that. In my opinion, that's fair. Fair play. I think 60, push at 65 gets it done, in my view. Yeah, man. You know, I'd probably be as prepared to go to 70. You know, the extra 10 million in different add-ons and all of those sort of things, man. I'd be very aggressive in that. You know, I welcome everyone's opinion. We've got a different opinion, I think, with Marcus said Maddison on his day is quality, has real guile and spots a pass. On his day, I would get him. He adds to the team massively, but we should not pay over the odds. They do not hold us to ransom. And Mark, I agree, but that's the age-old thing. It's like, at what point do you say is ransom? Because let's be real. If they say 60, 65 might be overpaying. But I think we'll all agree sometimes you got to overpay in that regards. I'm sure, you know, if they're saying 60 and then it somehow ballooned to 80 and then we're like, oh, hang on a minute, you know, that's where Arsenal have a decision to make. Did they go for it? You know, can he repay you in other ways? You might not get resale value, but, you know, if he gives you 20 assists, and this is me being very, you know, naive, if he gives you 20 assists for 5 seasons, and that helps you get top 4 and all of these sort of things, and he sells a bunch of shirts, and he's a leader of the new school, he becomes an England regular, and you know, an even bigger household name in the Prem, is paid for itself, you know. And that's the thing. At what point does it become paying over the odds? Because Buendia is a deal to me. I'm sure if you ask Villa's executives would probably say they paid slightly over, but that's an educated risk. It's about, you know, It's about that sort of thing. I mean, if they let us schedule the payments like we did for Pepe, which they probably won't, run 100 million to them then, because it's bare Bright House and cash converter payments and bare CEX business going on. So I wouldn't personally mind it, but crucially, let's just have backup ideas in it, because I'm sure many of you as Arsenal fans, we've been through this. A man gets linked with the club, the other links start to die away. You hear language that this is the guy, the only one they want. We somehow they always find out this guy's represented by the same guy at this club. We hear there's talks, we're moving aggressive, and then ultimately we hear, whether it's in Szoboszlai's case, Arsenal didn't like the profile. When Dio, we was never quite in. Our last season, whatever happened, Rodrigo De Paul, Camavinga. I'm breaking a lot of Arsenal fans' hearts naming all these players, but I'm sure you lot see how the script goes. It goes from, we're not really on this guy, there's many targets, then he becomes the number one, like Odegaard as well, becomes the only guy that can play this role in the world. So by all means, for me, go for Maddison. Be aggressive as you want, try. But if you can't get Maddison, can you get someone of the same profile that might be in the championship that can explode on the scene, or in Brazil or Argentina or Spain or whatever division? Because there's footballers everywhere, man. Just go out and get something. It's as simple as that. And I hope you've got, like I said, plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D targets. Have a list of 10 man, 5 man you really want. Out of that 5, we're going to go for them, man. These 3 are the backups. If worse comes to worse, we revisit the man that we've scouted and scrutinize it again, because that way it is what it is, sort of thing. What happens if in a flip world, Maddison says he's not on it. Leicester say, we'll even sell him for 50, 60. Arsenal say we're on it, and he says, I don't want to leave. We don't rate you, man. At some way we've got to look for a next one. Are we going to wait 6 months or so to bring in the next creative man on loan in January once again? And then try the Willian through the middle, the Lacazette through the middle, the flat three, the whole mad issue he was moving with? I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't really know, man. We'll have to actually see in that regards, man. We really will. I don't know why I don't want this guy. Clipper, man. You're normally positivity, man. You gotta want this guy. I respect you, though. Let me know your reasons if you don't want it, though, man. Marcus said, at the tube station, at the stadium, they will go cheap when touts can't get rid of them, but it's risky, not worth the chance. Mark, I'm not on it, man. I'm not on it. I've watched too many documentaries. Man, I've bought tickets and it's fake. But then again, I watched some guy, where was it? It was years ago. Barca was playing somewhere in a final and he finessed the ticket. He done that. So, yeah, man, I don't know for all of that, though, man. I ain't got the heart for that car. I will be trying to find that ticket scout for my P's. And then, obviously, if he tries to say, that I didn't sell you a ticket, we're going to have a problem, because I'm catching a GBH case. I'm tucking him in. Like, and if I can't tuck him in, I'm knocking him over the head with something for my P's, for my bread. I can't lie to you. That's the thing, man. When it comes to bread, it's not a joke out here, man. It's not a joke. Outside mess still. I big up my guy Wax Online. Go and subscribe up to his thing and do up his joints, please, people. I think it's because the World Cup around the corner. That's the thing as well. Sorry to cut you off, yeah, but that's also a thing we've got to deep. It's a World Cup year next year, Is it sensible to make these moves all the time? Sometimes it's better to move somewhere. Sometimes it could be good to stay where you are, because obviously you've got to adapt. You've got all of that business. And that's a very good point. So that's something to consider. Obviously, it don't make too much of a risk. You hear Auer wants to bust out regardless. You're hearing Maddison's open to it, but it's something to consider. But I cut you off, my bro. You said, I think it's because the World Cup's around the corner. Maddison's burning inside because he missed out on the Euros. So moving to a higher profile club like Arsenal and performing well will put him back in contention. Big club bias, but I would say you get in there looking at Leicester. With respect to Villa, Mings is there. People are there. Man are there from Brighton. Man are there. I just don't think. I think Southgate. But there's only so many mavericky players. Look how long it took for him to really bust Foden. Look how long it took for him to call up Grealish and Bellingham and Sancho. So Maddison and. I think you could have brought all 3 in hindsight. I definitely think we could have, all 3 could have went to the Euros, specifically Maddison, Foden and him. He had a bit of a up and down season, if I'm honest with you. A bit of an up and down one, man. Auer isn't as good as Maddison, in my opinion. And to play in the 10, I'm picking Maddison all day. I'm picking Maddison to play in the 10. I'm picking Auer to play in the 8, my guy. That's it for me. You get that. That's what I think we need. If not Maddison or Auer, just someone who can pass the ball forward consistently in the 8, you will see a better Smith Rowe, a better Maddison. Let's talk it into existence, people. A better Grealish. Like, obviously, it won't happen, but that's what we need. Why do you think when we had Santi playing in that deeper role, Ozil and Alexis were even more on fire? Because 10-3, we're on the next one. I beg you lot to go and watch back games. You see it. You see Smith Rowe, whoever plays 10 for Arsenal Football Club, they're dropping hella deep more time. And then they're dropping deep. So the disconnect is already gone with the attackers. The attackers have to drop deep. And that's where you see we can barely get out of our own half. Strikers look like they're playing against 100 defenders. We're very disjointed. We need someone that can play in a pivot and pass the ball. We need a 10. Now, for me, I believe we need an 8.5. I'm on the 10 with Smith Rowe's emergence, and really Odegaard at the club, I've been more on the 10. But I wanted the modern day midfielder, the modern day creative man, which is obviously not Kevin De Bruyne, but the 8.5 man that are basically playing centre mid, but doing up the creative thing. So I wanted that. I still kind of prefer that. I think Maddison and Smith Rowe can be that, but yeah, man, I think I wouldn't play Auer in the 10 as the 10. You can play him in midfield and have the other two and give him the most creative freedom, but we need people of the same of that exact skill set. Look at City. Who's an organic 10 at City? You could say Kevin could play there, but he's not an organic 10. It's better 8.5s than that. Shout out to my Jamaicans locked in. Shout out to Portmore and the rest of the Gaza, man. Them I appreciate it. And the Gaza girlies as well. Come on. Is hopefully in the Gold Cup we do our bit, man. I could be wrong, but for me, he just doesn't seem like he fits into Arsenal's philosophy and for what we stand. But then again, he could come and change us for good. What sort of philosophy? I think he does, man. I think he's technically good. I think he's brave. I think everything we lack at Arsenal, he's got it in his own way. I think he does, man. He's a technical footballer, but fair play, man. I'd love to know your further reasonings, man. I'm not trying to, pick apart your opinion. I'm just trying to delve into your mind and see why you say that, man. Interesting comments. My reason for not wanting is because I'm under the impression we can get Auer for a lot cheaper. He's a couple years longer, and I just prefer the way he plays. Well, for me, my guy, if you get two 8.5s and you have a box-to-box midfielder in Partey, I think we'd be sweet. With Smith Rowe, we'd be sweet. Auer would be sweet. Grealish is the going on top of it. I can't see us doing it all because it seems like this club wants to spend 70 million on Ben White and Ramsdale. I'm on the signing of Ben White. I'm not really on the Ramsdale, but 70 million on that. Then it's at least another 25, 35, whatever euros we're told for Auer. Again, I'm poor at maths, but we're touching in the hundreds, innit? Then Grealish is going to cost what? 60. So you're touching 170-ish. Now, we've seen clubs spend that. We should be able to spend that, but without knowing if we're getting a war chest, without seeing significant departures, without seeing a 30 for Joe, a similar stum for Maitland-Niles, a 15-20 for Eddie Nketiah, seeing if you could do something for Nelson, seeing what Xhaka does for us in terms of outgoing, seeing if you can get a Torreira move. That's where I'm going back to what I said at the start. I can't see any aggressive or real assault for James Maddison or to get him at this club if we do not create some outgoings and things like that, So I can't really see it. Like the spending sounding a bit mad, but I don't work for Arsenal. I don't know what P's we've got or haven't got, so I'm on it fundamentally, man. I like Damsgaard, but they're saying 30, 40. That might look like pennies in the future. I'm prepared to say we got that one wrong. I'm not really trying to spend that. He's a good player, but I just think there's other areas we could be patterning. In my opinion, anyways. Is there more academy podcasts? What are you talking about? Yeah, I don't do no academy podcast. Well, not a podcast specific on academy. I used to do one with the Secret Scout. We still got it. We're coming. I do my little opinions on the young players, but yeah, I don't know if you've got the terminology wrong or anything like that, but yeah, it is what it is in that regards. One sec, people. I'm going to put my fan on. It's getting a bit hot in here. And I turned off the fan because I didn't actually know if that was what's making me sound like a robot or whatever. But it is what it is. Hopefully it's not messing up my thing again. Nice to know that we've forgotten about them mistakes are long gone. Where are we at for likes, people? 124 likes. As I said, please make sure you're hitting the like button, people. Also, please make sure you're at England versus Italy. I've dropped the link. If you can't be there, just hit the link, hit the like button, do what you can for engagement, folks, people. But yeah, we'll get on to a bit of the other transfer news in a sec, man. James Maddison's dominated proceedings, man. Grealish is exactly what we need. We can't afford him. I'm seeing Madrid are willing to let Isco go for 6 million. Would you be on that? Because I think he's tired, bro. Nah, I think Isco's a good player, but it's one of them, man. Nah, we could sit here and say you could use Arsenal to rebuild your career, show him a bit of love, but Nah, man, I'd say we leave that. He seems, I don't like to use these terms, but he seems like one of them soft youths. We ain't really got time for the soft youths thing. Like, the bar is low. Realistically, the bar was low for Odegaard. I don't think Odegaard was bad, but I do think people are gassing up. The bar is low in it, and I just think he's too soft, man. That's what I preferred. Someone like Maddison. It's because the mentality's there. You could tell he's a Jack the lad. He's in a nice way. He's full of himself. Like, he's one of them Essex youths you play against. They know they got tech and they're giving you the verbal. I think we need that, I think we need that. We need men that are humble but show not so much humility in different ways. There's a time where I don't want my players to be humble, and 9 times out of 10, I think that's on the football match. Obviously, be gracious in defeat. Don't be doing nasty things and whatnot. But we're too nice, and you know me, I don't like to use that. And I'm not talking about nice because we're scared to pull out our tackles. We're too nice with it. We don't look like we're trying to kill our opponents and harm them. We're too much of a friend team where it shouldn't be that. We're fighting for 3 points. There's bread on the table. You lot got food. If we don't take it, you lot are gonna eat it. Someone's starving. We don't behave like that. And I want that. I want people with the healthy chip on their shoulders, man. I think obviously Guendouzi was a bit excited with it and it's different, but we need man like that. There's going to come a time where I'm going to say, Saka, you got to stop being nice. I know you're God's child, little chilly. You're our everybody's favorite younger brother. But soon I'm going to need to see you to tell man, shut your mouth and that. We need to be nasty. We're never going to be the Invincibles. But them man there, they weren't always trying to go out and be nasty. It was a football thing. But if it got to that, they showed you. You go low, we'll go even lower sort of thing. We need people of that. We need people that are nasty. And I think you can be taught that, but I also think you got to have that in you, innit? It's got to be ingrained in you. You got to be a see you next Tuesday. And I think Grealish can be that. Remember when he got Maitland now sent off, bro? Man acted like he got shot in that. And he's mad. He's his boy. I'm on that. And obviously he's cool with Mount. He's cool with Chilwell. Bro, come to London, not for the boys in blue. You don't want to play for them, man. You've done up the blue thing. You've been a crip. Come do up the Suwu blood thing. But you get the point. Like, it could be a Mazza. Maddison would add some serious character and another dimension to Arsenal. I honestly feel that unless we get rid of some players, it will just be another player that we're linked with. Bro, it is. We're linking with man. We're even bidding for man that we know we're not going to get. We know we're not going to get Locatelli, but man are still bidding. They know that he's going Juventus. We're still bidding. We tried this ambition thing, blah, 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 etc., etc. It's a mazza, really. So I can't see it, but we can dream, man. The dream is sold. Like I said, the dream is sold free, people. The dream is sold separately. Sorry. PG, what is it with this installments and add-ons? Chelsea and City aren't moving like this, so why the board need to move with more ambition? To be fair with you, they are just bidding more money, but every football club would probably go extinct if I bought you for 60. Here's 60 today. Here's 70 today. There's all different variables and all of these sort of things. They all do it. United are doing it for Sancho, and that's just how the business works. I hope, man. I hope we can get him. That different knock business, bro. But I ain't seen no players roll in with different knock. It's like you inviting me to a rave. You're telling me there's bare Chris Galley out there. There's like he's branding this thing, that thing, buffer. I'm coming, and man seeing bare fat things. That was going on. It's dead. I was gonna say you're selling dreams, so I don't know, man. I really don't know, man. Every club plays in installments. Come on, man. Improves us massively. But did these lot want to improve massively? Does it keep Arteta, Kroenke? I think it keeps Arteta up. But Edu, all these guys up at night. And the crucialist thing for me is, while I would love Maddison and them man there, it's just a dream, really. If you can realize the dream, great. But if you can find a Brazilian Maddison, an African Maddison, a Caribbean Maddison, someone that can do what he does, his own what he's got potential might even be there, but he's a quote unquote nobody. Because that's what we need to do. Because we shouldn't be in this position really where we're talking about Maddison at Leicester. You need to move from when he's at Norwich or at Coventry. You need to move to Grealish when they're trying to get him for 20. When they're trying to, Spurs almost got him for 20 mil. You need to move for these players, Telemans when it looks like his stock is on the floor at Monaco. You need to see what these players are going to be before the world can see them. Salah when he went Roma and was somewhat rebuilding his career. You need to move for them soon. You need to be able to see what these players can do and them things there. But boy, man said deluded. You don't do live with Turkish anymore, man. I think Turkish too busy. He's on AFTV, man. Hit him up. So yeah, man. I know he does his own shows and that, so he just probably don't have the time. So I guess with that, that's where it is, man. Like, might come back one day, but unless a madness happens, I can't really see a DG and Turkish show in the foreseeable future. Hope though, man. I can't see it though, because like my man said, he's at AFTV, just working hard, man. Is what it is. Bro, we can double his wages. That's light work. We can double his wage. Bro, we're the kings of that, bro. We're the kings of that, bro. You know, I don't care how much Maddison earns, because I just know Willian and Kolasinac are gonna be on more. You know, I don't mind that. You know, we need to start offering wages. You know, in the next 18 months, if Saka keeps keeps doing this thing, he needs an improvement on his deal. You know, Tini signed an improved deal. Gabriel last year signed an improved deal. So I don't mind the peace thing. It's more time. It's not my money as well. But yeah, man, come double your wages. If you're just on a money thing, fair play, man. But if we was to cite these players that we're being linked with, I'm telling you, lot people, just the linked 11, my word, we could be a madness. Man's just listing bare names. And Cherky's good. They're not gonna let him go, and he's still developing. Kagan Lee's all right. Rafael Silva's all right. Nicholas is all right. I think we've already handled that. That's why LOKONGA is being signed, bro. If Partey gets injured. Maddison is terrible business. He barely improves the team. That's a bit harsh. I don't think that's true, my guy. I think he evidently improves the team. His team's on the floor. I think he improves it a tenfold. I don't think he's gonna be the messiah and change the team and all of these things. But yeah. Man said, DG, we saying Jerky's pre-game, God save Raheem. I come on, my guy. I might, you know. But it's a geezer's thing. It's a geezer's thing today. Like I said, if you got Stella, pour that up. It's a geezer's thing, but it's a fish and chips thing and them thing there, man. You know, what's all that? Jerky? Is that like jerk chicken? Or Jamaican? What barley in that? All right, mate, fella. Is that Raheem Sterling? Jamaican born? Fella, all right. It's one of them. It's one of them ones today, people. I don't know about jerk chicken and curry goat and everything there, but it's a geezer thing. Up until minute 90, though. If it gets a bit shaky, man, be like, bro, man's ancestors not from England. What's all of this rim? They wanted to kick the Windrush people them out, man. Don't do up the England celebrations. I don't know for this thing. So it's a win or lose thing today, people. I can't lie to you lot. It's a win-win. Same with Messi yesterday for Brazil. If Brazil win, you know me, I love Brazil. But if they don't win, it's a Messi thing. There's always an agenda, people. Maddison is one of the best number 10s in the league. Yeah, he is, man. Kirk is Ben White's caught a stray. Would love to see him instead of the waste of money overpriced Ben White. Boy, that's a deep one, ain't it? It's a sad one. You know, Ben White's just gearing up for what could be if he plays any part, biggest game of his career. He didn't deserve that, GG. What did he do? He didn't deserve that. Allow him, bro. Allow him, man. Is where it is, though, man. Good opinions coming in that, man. I appreciate everybody locked in, man. Bissouma and Maddison and a right back would make us top 4 contenders. I would agree ish. If you never said if I saw you add centre half to that, because for me, I think we need a centre half. Everybody, that's just my opinion. Everybody can tell me until the cows come home. This guy, that guy, we've got this on there, we got that. I think we need a centre half. That's just my opinion. You know, I think there's a debate to be said over quality over quantity. I actually feel even if you bring a centre half in, I think it's a battle of the fittest sort of thing next season, because between Holding, Chambers, Marie, someone's got to get clipped, because next season there's got to be this new centre half. Gabriel, Saliba, a couple of you can, you know, Gabriel, new signing, Saliba, the free. I always like 5 defenders, so 2 man can fight for that, innit? If that's Holding and Chambers, that's cool. You know, between Chambers, Holding, and Marie, one of you man got a fight in it. 2 of you man all 3 of you got to fight. Someone's gonna get left out. Obviously, if there's a young academy done that, bus is free, bus is true, innit? Is where it is. To be fair with you, it don't make sense us buying Bissouma. Pardon me, it don't make sense. Not because he's not a good player, not because I didn't want him, but you can't. There's no point buying Lokonga, having Partey, and then bringing in Bissouma. You know, you can't do all of that and then speak about this guy and that guy. We'd be signing 3 similar profile man. I think, but clearly Bissouma's a quality player. But we've gone for Lokonga. We've saved money in that regard. He can grow and become long-term the guy that's in Partey's place, or go and thingy him, or go and or take his place, you know, and then that gives us a bit more money to maybe get a Alwar, a Maddison, all of these sort of guys. Who knows, man? But yeah, it's a gazy one, man. The gazy one, but where's the Granit Xhaka business? Yeah, it's here. Cool. So yeah, man, let's get into Granit Xhaka quickly, people, and what's going on with Roma now. It seems like Roma are messing up the steeds, and getting people. Xhaka needs to be a priority because the man said he wants to leave. I'm not here for another U-turn, which obviously we're not going to go over it, but we know he wanted to go to her for Berlin and all of these sort of things. It didn't work out. Hit the like button, people, and set your reminders for England versus Italy. Check out the pin message. 300 odd people locked in. Now, Granit Xhaka said he wants to go. Let the man go because of that, because it's one less player who I think he's overrated and underappreciated. I think his fanboys, the Xhaka sexuals, they'll swear F and blind this guy's mad sick and that, and bro, and you get the vibe that half of them haven't kicked a football. There's people that pretend and kid themselves that Xhaka isn't a good midfielder. He doesn't offer something to Arsenal. Unless Arsenal replace him, you will miss what he gives the team, and that shows our problems, but that's nothing to do with Xhaka. And I don't think Xhaka's been as bad as people make out. For me, the man said he wants to go. For me, I don't quite think he's starting quality and kind of not in his own way sums up where we are. So if we can upgrade someone that doesn't polarize opinion, someone that can give us what we want, fair play, and he doesn't want to be here. Now, this whole Maddison business and all of these things, they're probably our plans of that nature are probably somewhat shut up until you decide what's going on. And I expected Granit Xhaka to be one of the moves to get done ASAP. It seemed like it was done. When he's out of the Euros, it'll be done. But as you lot can see here, Granit Xhaka to Roma is not yet a defined operation. To report is a guy, apparently, according to which Arsenal would wait for a raise from Roma to give its okay to the transfer of the Swiss midfielder. The offer of 15 million euros, in fact, is not considered sufficient by the Gunners. Apparently, we want 20 million. I think we're within our rights to expect 20 million. The problem is there other clubs that want Xhaka? There has to be, because he was close to going to her for Berlin. I'm sure a move to Gladbach could be negotiated. I'm sure he might have other offers from Italian clubs, Juventus allegedly, lol. I think 20 million is a fair price, really and truly, considering the Euros he's had, considering he's had. From a personal point, I think he's been all right for Arsenal. Now, when Xhaka's been one of your best players and you're finishing 8th, that probably tells you everything you need to know. But he's still made some mistakes, but he's had a good season. So off the back of a good season and a good Euros where, he did his thing, I think 20 million is fair. For Arsenal, we might buckle and sell him for 15 because we probably need to sell him because he's now told us he wants to go. We've tried to move him on. You don't want unhappy players. Now, he's professional. He'll probably carry on as nothing ever happened, but we need to move him on. We need to rebuild our midfield, and his signing kind of messes up the settings in that regards, people. So it is what it is in relation to that. Arsenal and Xhaka Arsenal, Xhaka and Roma are all playing hardball. So we'll have to see. Is there any other reports echoing this, people? Apparently yesterday you heard Roma were waiting for us to sign Ruben Neves before we sign someone, so we'll have to see what happens in that regard. It doesn't seem like everyone, I would love for Juventus to allegedly hijack the Xhaka deal. Just get the man gone. If he doesn't want to be here, it's simple as that. But I think that one there is a myth, and we're going to have to leave that one at that one there, folks. So make sure you're hitting the like button if you haven't already. But yeah, that's Granit Xhaka. In relation to LOKONGA, let's not waste any time. Let's just talk about him very quickly, people. LOKONGA, he's another one expected to follow with Tavares and complete his move. Allegedly, because of isolation, he won't be allowed to obviously go with the boys to Scotland and that. As you lot can see here, people, Arsenal have completed the transfer of Albert Sambi LOKONGA. An official announcement is now expected. So probably before this is finished or while this is finished and we go to the next live stream, which is at 7:30, make sure you're all here. England versus Italy settings, people. Hit your like buttons and the rest of it. Shout out Prince Teddy and the only 1K for that. We probably might see that, so that's good, because obviously it's one player ticked off and it's addressing the squad. Now there just remains question marks over what's happening with Leno and in goal, what's happening with Xhaka, what's happening with the right back, what's happening with a couple of other things. So I'd be happy to bring in Sambi LOKONGA, as you lot see. Apparently he's arrived in London. He still has to do part of his medical tests in England, where he'll respect a quarantine before joining Arsenal. So that's delaying the process. You did hear he did a medical or part of his medical within Belgium. We come to the end of the summer series. On Saturday morning, Albert Sambi LOKONGA, 21, arrived in London. He must pass the rest and end medical tests started the day before, a formality in theory. He'll then be officially be able to officially sign for 5 seasons at Arsenal. He was unable to join his teammates directly in Edinburgh, where they are starting a 1-week training course with 2 friendlies, passing through the England box where the health situation is worrying. He must respect a quarantine of 10 days before being able to train collectively with the Gunners. If all goes well, it is during the second internship, where obviously we're flying to America, in that Sambi will discover his new partners with a preparatory meeting against Romelu Lukaku's Inter Milan. So again, he might miss out, gelling with his teammates in Scotland, but he won't miss out going to America, and it'll be good for him and Tavares, and any other signing, because obviously they're gonna, they're in America to train, but they're gonna go out, they're gonna, do things away from football, things that boost togetherness and getting to know your teammates. So the quicker he can adapt off the field and on the field with his teammates, the better. Obviously, specifically at football base level, the quicker he's in this club, the more he can work with Arteta, get up to speed. And then, like Arteta said, this preseason is vital. Players can understand what's going on, people. Apparently, they're going to receive 17 million euros and various bonuses, including the percentage of a resale. So it'll be good for them, for a club that needs money, and their loss is our gain. Welcome to the club, LOKONGA. Hopefully, he can do a thing in that regards for us. So we'll have to see, people, on that note. So there's that. So yeah, where's this ONANA business? Let's close that. Let's get into ONANA very quickly, folks. People, again, we spoke about goalie. Apparently, it's firmly in. It should be Inter versus LYON versus Arsenal for ONANA, people. It seems like the goalkeeping situation has gone quiet. Let's refresh this. Help me out, please, Google. Ajax goalkeeper Onana is out with Boses LYON. Clubs are in talks. Onana is in conversation with LYON. His agent confirms to this news outlet it is now up to the clubs to reach an agreement. For Onana, a move to LYON means a reunion with his trainer Peter Bross, who obviously he worked with. We all know he's got a ban, and we all know his contract stuff, people. Arsenal and Inter Milan are interested in the 25-year-old goalkeeper, but are now threatening to fish behind the net. At Ajax, Onana still has a contract until mid-2022. Ten Hag said on Friday that he will simply draft Onana if the keeper remains in Amsterdam and shows himself better than the previous goalies. So it is what it is. We'll have to see what happens, but it seems like this one might not be a priority. Is there a shift in, Leno deciding he wants to stay? Maybe there is. Maybe we just can't find a goalkeeper. Maybe we're just leaving this to the back burner as we confirm deals for LOKONGA and just previously Tavares. We hear we're trying. Who knows, people? But for me, hopefully there's other targets if Onana cannot happen. Hopefully the club bring in the keeper, because I feel it's too volatile with Leno. 1 minute Leno he does this too frequently. If Leno wants to stay, I think the club will just forget about it. If Leno says he wanted to go, genuinely said he wanted to go, then you need to move him on, man. It's too volatile. Really, we need players fundamentally who want to be here and help us get back to qualifying for Europe first and foremost, and then obviously it would be the Champions League. So that's that in that regards, folks. We'll have to see, man. Few visible suitors for Xhaka, and his stated desire to leave lowers his market value. Unfortunately, may need to take 5 million less to move him on, somewhat similar to other players Arsenal need to move on. Facts. Granit Xhaka needs to leave this summer. You're right, though. DG has to be replaced. And the thing is with Xhaka, that replacing Xhaka will tell me if this club is serious, because whatever you have to say about Granit Xhaka, rightly or wrongly, the team runs through him. If he's not passing the ball forward, there's disjointment. When he's not in the team, it happens for all his faults. And this is the problem. You've built your foundations on the grass with a man that isn't certain enough, but this is what he gives us. This is anything close to a midfield controller we have in the team. So if he busts out, you don't bring one in, somehow we're going to get even worse. So it needs to, and whatever we say about him, Arteta has used him, never bucked under the pressure of using him, has put him in every lineup he can. The same goes for Emre, the same goes for Wenger. So whatever you think about Granit Xhaka, maybe this is what led to all their demise, but there's got to be something he's doing right, or something that whether we see it, they don't see it. Maybe you need to be a manager. He offers the team. So with that, all I need to know is if Xhaka has told you months ago he wants to leave, make sure you've got a replacement. That's it. Simple as that. Let Xhaka bust out. If Xhaka wants to go, let him go, but you need a replacement. The team runs through him. And that's the problem, because he's not good enough to run through it, man. Runs our midfield. We have to replace him. And again, you can't really, we say replace him, man. We need to sell him. And we're at loggerheads. It seemed like it was going to be done. Seems like Roma are having us on. I don't know if any other people are interested in him. Maybe he's got offers from Germany, as I said, because he was going to go Hertha Berlin last January. Maybe we should have let him go in hindsight. I don't know. But you're going to have to replace him. And again, Arteta, you was a midfielder. So you need to take heed of what I've just said and what we'd all agree. I'm giving Arteta, as I said last year, I'm giving Arteta no forgiveness and no sympathy over specifically midfield, because you and Edu were midfielders. Our midfield, as much as I cry about our defense and our attack, and they need to improve off their own back, you know, in an attacking sense, Arteta were ninth. You're underperforming defensively. I think you just need better players. But you can't defend as a top team if your midfield can't defend. You can't attack as a top team if your midfield can't attack. You know, you look at Arsenal's midfield, we're one of the only ones in the league. You don't know what it's about. It's not mad ballers there where it's Wenger ball. They're not mad defensive. You don't know what it is. You know, you look at them in isolation, they're not bad players, but collectively, the best way you could describe it is a mix and match. And currently on paper, Xhaka's gone, Torreira's gone. So Partey and who? Partey and Joe Willock? Boy, is that levels? I'll leave you lot to decide that, people. Boy, it is what it is in that regards. I'll leave you lot to decide that, car. You lot know more than me. So yeah, man. He never put them up, but I think fans deserve that. Xhaka shouldn't have done that. But yeah, bro. For both fans and the player didn't cover themselves in any glory. You have no divine right to abuse someone. You know, that was a dark day as an Arsenal fan. I remember being at the Emirates. It was like being in a pantomime. You know, that was peak banter, man. So it is what it is. I don't know what will be our midfield three next season, but I'd imagine what I'd say right now, Partey, Smith Rowe, and somebody else, really. Leno might not be terrible, but if he said he wants to go, bro, we need to. I don't want to be relying on guys like that. You know, there's players that are probably committed to the cause right now that will decide to go. That's cool, but if you're not committed and you're not 100% to be here, and you've even got a cloud of doubt that you can go somewhere else, go somewhere else. So if you can't go somewhere else, don't make him first choice, because I do respect these lots' professionalism and all of these sort of things, but. Yeah, there's just too many players. They're volatile. 1 minute it seems like they're going, 1 minute they're staying. It seems like they think they're doing Arsenal a favour. And I just think we reinforce people's mediocrity in this club and tell them they're the best thing since sliced bread. It's time to start moving like a big club. If man say they want to go, replace them. Simple as that. It's as simple as that, man. But I'm not going to lie. I'm not the biggest Onana fan. I'm not going to sit here and cap and say I'm going to be 100% happy. He makes me a bit nervous. Hearing Spurs have got involved in the Alwood deal now, lol. So we'll literally have to see what happens, man. Let me finish this tea. It's getting tired. 178 likes, people. There's 304 of you locked in. Come on, man. You're doing me dirty, man. Run up the likes, people. It's coming home 100%. Will Smith Rowe be okay with sitting on the bench? I don't think so, but come on now. You know, you've got to earn it. I'm sure Foden wasn't cool with sitting on the bench with City. When he got his chance, he grabbed it and he kept Sterling out the lineup. That's what it's about. If you want to be at a serious club or want to be a serious club, you know, do your business and you'll play every game. Simple as that. And I don't think he will, because he didn't buckle when Odegaard got brought in. He kept up his he maintained his attacking level. You know, I think the best thing for Smith Rowe is to bring in people in his position or more creative players, because we stop relying on him. In the same way, let's let Pepe flourish, let Martinelli flourish, find Aubameyang's goal scoring again and everything else. Suddenly, we're not just looking at Saka to make the difference, whether he scored, well, not that he scored too much, but scoring, assisting, individual bits of brilliance. You know, it should come from everywhere. City would look very different if they surely just relied on Mahrez or just relied on Sterling. You know, you've got everybody, you know, that's why when them man there have off games, it's not really highlighted. You evidently see when Smith Rowe and Saka have had off games because we're not winning the game. It's a madness. To be fair to you, Jerry, 100%. But one thing I've never had to question was Xhaka's commitment levels. You know, he will play with integrity. He will. That's one thing I've never had to doubt. But to play devil's advocate, I don't want guys that don't really want to be here, that think they can that maybe think they can do better, that want to try other things. And that's cool with that. I'm cool with that. It's like any other job. You're allowed to experience new things. But at Arsenal and at the time we've been in, you know, definitely post Wenger, the minimum fans deserve is players that want to be here, like 100% committed to the cause, because with every win, you see it. And then when we lose, you see heads drop. I don't really want that. I want people that are committed. I want people that act like that you can evidently see they're acting like they know they should either shouldn't be here, or they're so lucky to be here. They're grinding every day, like they're never letting it down. You know, what you do in the dark comes to light. And I'm not looking, Arsenal may very well be training the things we say they need to train and things, but when I see it on a match day, I don't think not. And I have to question, what are you lot doing when the lights are off, when Sky Sports are not at the ground, and they're not, when you lot are not uploading on YouTube training vids? What are you man actually doing? I want people that want to improve for themselves, that want to set their own legacies, because if everyone wants to set their own individual legacy and holds themselves to a high account, the collective will take care of itself. Look at the Invincibles. Bergkamp wanted to, you know, do his own thing. Henry, his own thing, Vieira, his own. Everybody wanted to win and do all of these things for themselves. Now, when you've got everybody of the same ilk, it can only be better. It must have been a pleasure to be in training. It must have been intense, tough, full of personalities, heavily, you know, testosterone. You could probably smell the testosterone, but fundamentally, everyone was on the same page. You know, we've gone from winning league titles where our defenders, our goalkeeper, I mean, well, we would love it now if we heard our centre half and goalkeeper were fighting each other because the clean sheet weren't there and they won something, because that's the mentality. Oh, forget the ability, and we know we're not going to be invincibles, but that's the minimum. Them lot crave legacy. They behave like they want to crave legacy. These lot, just like, man, just kick ball my whole life. It's a ball thing. It is what it is. And a lot of these Arsenal players, it's going to hit them at 29 or something. Boy, I need to fix up. My career is short. And this is what I mean when I said earlier, we just reinforce the bullshit at this club. We reinforce and re-highlight and reward people's mediocrity, really, in my opinion. So, boy, it is what it is, man. Nah, man. All Saka needs for me is a mental lie off. You know, everybody talks about rest. It's all about the recovery, man. Foden's played a lot of football, but also not that much football when you deep it. He's good enough to play, man. Nobody's talking about Pedri rest. What we need to do is allow, for me, Saka to rest mentally, because he's playing at a Euros. He's been carrying Arsenal. He's never probably had a second to just deep what he's done. Like, I'm 19, I've done this and that. We need man to just recover physically. I mean, yeah, physically, mentally, and also, but just let him deep that I need to improve my corners as well. But I don't really think the rest thing, man, is a thing, man. Is what it is. We need BISSOUMA alongside Partey. This would immediately solidify the midfield. And then when we can't pass the ball forward, we're going to be in problems, because then you're going to have to over-rely on Smith Rowe, whoever's in that 10. Yes, BISSOUMA and Partey can pass the football, but fans need to stop blaring the lines. They're not professional footballers for the passes they can play. You know, BISSOUMA is not there for his assist. Neither is Partey. They're there to put a foot in, and everything they do is beyond that. Fair play, I would like it, but I wouldn't be happy with it. You know, suddenly against a low block, I don't think you need that, personally. I believe there's so many creative midfielders around that Arsenal can sign someone, and I think Edu is planning something special. Hope so, my bro. I hope so. I need something special, man. Arsenal fans overrate BISSOUMA. We gas up everyone we're linked with, man. DG probably doesn't believe these rumors. Of course not, my guy. I don't believe anything until I see a man holding a shirt. But we have to speculate and talk with you lot, man. If England win the Euros, will Saka get the young player of the tournament? DG, I would love it. But if he does get it, as much as I love Saka, it's a crime if that young Pedri guy doesn't win that. That is Pedri's all over. There's no one, in my opinion, that's touching Pedri. Spain might have disgraced themselves, but there's no one that can challenge Pedri for that young player award. Nobody, no one is Pedri's. Give it to Pedri now. As you can see, I'm a big Pedri fan. And I've said it before, he's going to be a scary player, man. Scary player, man. I think the AFCON will balls up the BISSOUMA deal, hence we ain't going for him. I think it's just LOKONGA and Partey. What's the point? You know, what is actually the point of signing them? Seriously, people, deep it. Think about it logically. Does it make sense? BISSOUMA, Partey, LOKONGA. Does it legitimately make sense, people? Deep it. You've got three men that can do the same thing, you know? They all do the same thing. They can all be great. They might even be great together. I'm not saying it's not a bad midfield, but what's the point? You need different ingredients, you know? You don't get jerk chicken seasoning and slapping jerk chicken seasoning again. You might get the jerk and then the all-purpose and then a little curry powder. You get different things to make the meal. You know, you don't use the same ingredient for the same thing, or it's gonna be dead, or you're not gonna get that. So it's you need different ingredients. You need a yin and yang. You need a LOKONGA or a BISSOUMA to go with Partey, so that there is some games you need to play both. A man might get injured, or some games you need one. There might even be games you don't, and I think there's been many of them. If Arsenal could defend, you don't need a 6 on. You just need the 8s and the 10s, and you know, even what Wenger used to do, force a creative man out wide. We just need the ballers on the pitch. There's 38 games. There's different ingredients you need. And I just think we'd have the same meal time and time again if you've got LOKONGA, Partey, BISSOUMA. They all do the same things. You know, yeah, some man might be better than others. Yeah, they're a bit better than on the ball than we give them credit for. But their primary job is not that. So it'd be an issue. We'd be better off going for Renato Sanchez or something like that, in my humble opinion. So yeah, man. But I hope, you know, I hope you're right though with Eddie's planning a madness, man. You know, Ball Pedri is different, bro. I've been singing Pedri's praises for time. Neves would suit us more than BISSOUMA. I mean, BISSOUMA would suit me more than Neves, but on the logic I've just said, yeah, because he's a bit different, you know. Neves and Partey is probably a better partnership than BISSOUMA and Partey. Now, I would rather the BISSOUMA and Partey. That's better for me. But in terms of, like I said, different strokes for different folks and stuff like that, them two, they can do everything. Partey can pass the ball forward, but he can defend. But you know, Neves can defend, but primarily he can do the passing thing, sort of thing. And I think there'd be a bit more clarity. So yeah, man. Trust, redirect the BISSOUMA money to our money. Bro, don't remind me of DePaul, bro. I spoke about him at the start. I don't want to speak about Rodrigo DePaul. It's the next man that, boy, apart from watching on YouTube, he ain't touching the Arsenal surface, man. Sanchez would be sick. If the club's primary target was our last year for twice the money, surely his ability didn't dip to make him undesirable now for half the price. A lot of variables we don't always see could become available. A lot of things can change. Like he could still be a top target, but our priorities or certain other things can change. But yeah, for me, you still go for him. Quality doesn't die. Everything else is subjective. Form, all these things, it hits in prime, man. Pedri in his prime might even be better than Xavi. Pardon my language. Pardon the burp. Listen, I'm staying away from, because Xavi and Iniesta, these are my guys. These are hallmarks of football. Pedri would be lucky to have a smidget of that career. I think he's going to be mentioned in the same breath as them. I think he's going to be a Spain legend and club legend, but it's down to him to do that, innit? And we'll have to assess the situation when we get into it. Football's crazy, so by the time he's 19, 20, we could be saying that. He's mad. He's a madman. But yeah, man. Absolute crazy, man. I think BISSOUMA and Partey would work, but you know, fans would cry for it. And then when we're playing Crystal Palace of old, or we're playing these low blocks and they're not relevant, there's gonna be issues, man. There's gonna be serious issues. I miss Santi as well. I wish William would leave the club 100%, but I don't know what's going on, man. I miss Santi Cazorla as well. Bring that one back. Man said love Deluded. Gooner. I appreciate that if that username's homage to me, or if you're just doing your own thing. Nonetheless, I appreciate that. We're at 209 likes. Very appreciative of that, people. Big up everyone that's locked in, man. Is there anything else? Let me see if there's any other Arsenal rumours, man. It's a slow day, innit? We've spoken about everything. We spoke about Eddie and Nketiah yesterday going to Palace. That'd be a good move. But as I said, if I'm Palace, West Ham, all these teams that are actually linked with him, I'm going for Tammy Abraham first. You know, if you've got 15, 20 for Eddie, then I'm trying to stack 50 for Thingy, man. I'm trying to stack 50 for Tammy Abraham. Limpo's a baller before my time, 100% mark. But, you know, that's the best thing about YouTubers and documentaries, absolute baller. But Santi, I would love a Cess. Bro, we took these ballers for Thingy, man. Hella granted, man. Apparently, Saka isn't starting and Trippier will start and England will play a back three. Brother, I'm going to deal with the England thing in the next live stream, innit? I'm going to deal with the England thing in the next live stream. Do you think we can play a midfield three of Willett, Partey and Smith Rowe? It's a bit meaty. It's meaty I'm not going to lie to you. It's a bit meaty. You know, would probably be a bit bipolar, as you know, Joe Willock and Smith Rowe are trying to be consistently good every week. Like Smith Rowe good every week, Joe Willock good every week. It's probably a bit of it's meaty still. I think it will come up short, man. It's sounding a bit like a cup game trio. I can't lie to you. Parties taking the kids on a school trip sort of thing. I can't lie. DG, can we sign Alwa and Maddison since Alwa can play as an 8? Yeah, in theory, whether the money's there or whether we do, two very different things, my bro. But we hope, we pray, all of them thing there, man. But it does sound quite meaty still. Think Guendouzi and Saliba going Lyon has any hand in for Alwa? Sometimes have to look into it. They would have a replacement. I'm not sure either is going to Lyon, so I don't think. Yeah, man, I don't really understand where you went with that, Neil. But yeah, man, neither are going to Lyon allegedly, or unless I've missed something new that's come out. I was told they were going Marseille. If it was a Marseille thing, weren't it? Bro, you should do a linked 11 show. Compare that to our actual 11. It's true, you know. Let me humor myself, man. But we ain't been linked. Or left back isn't gonna work, is it? So wait, let me go. Onana. What right backs we been linked with? So there, I can't spell his name, but the Sassuolo brother. You know, who we've been linked with at centre half? Ben White, Capsoba. I'll probably cheat. Let me say Tavares because we were linked, but we bought him, so I'll put an asterisk. I'm gonna go 4-3-3. Our Maddison in the 10. Camavinga is quite a young squad, but bro, it's screaming football manager. Camavinga. We ain't really been linked with too many wingers though. We ain't been linked with wingers though. We ain't been linked with no strikers and wingers though. We've been what? If you don't know any wingers we've been linked with, shout me, man. Now, we've been linked with Isaac, so I'm gonna cheat and throw an Isaac one up there. Look, this is what I've got so far, folks. This is what I've got so far. Our linked 11, just to humor myself off the top of my head. That's Sidir, brother, the guy at Sassuolo. You know, you've got Ben White and Tapsoba. We've signed Tavares. The midfield of Camavinga, Aouar, misspelled his name, and Maddison. We ain't been linked with. Look, I've got a striker in Isaac. We ain't been linked with no. I question marks. We were linked. True save. We were linked with Sterling and Mahrez. Still, I've even forgot about that. So what? Mahrez on the right, Isaac through the middle, and then what? Sterling. Wait, you know, we were linked with the pool. We were linked with Buendia. You know, that would have been wavy on the bench. You know, we were linked with Bissouma. We have been linked with Neves. I can force it. Odegaard, we were linked there. We did get a link with Correa. We were linked with Locatelli. Oh, Camavinga your place might get clapped, rude boy. I can't lie to you, lot. We were linked with Isco Tino, you're right, but that's tired still. That's tired. But nonetheless, we were linked with that. So it's quite a wavy 11, isn't it, really? What's that? All that zero business with Mahrez? Bro, I don't know for a linked 11 show, but yeah, man. Onana, Sedio, Ben White, Tatsoba, Tavares, Asterix, Aouar, Camavinga, Maddison, Isaac, Sterling on the left, Mahrez through the middle, on the bench, Asterix over these names, of course. You've got from bottom to top, Isco, Locatelli, Carrera, Odegaard, Neves, Bissouma, Buendia, DePaul. What a wavy thing. Quite wavy, really and truly, isn't it? You know, someone's right. We were linked with Coutinho. We always get that tired rumor. That one's there, you know. We were linked with Ramsey. We were linked with Ryan Bertrand as well, but he's not playing for us. He's bust out. We ain't been linked with Zaha. I haven't really seen the Max Aaron ones, I'm not gonna lie, of recent, but I'll put that there. I think that one's forcing. We did get linked with Ramos still, but yeah, man, that one we didn't blow. I think them ones they're forcing it, man. Finally, an Arsenal influencer who is not twerking for Bissouma. It's not good to have 3 midfielders with the same profile. Arsenal's plans does not need to be disclosed during the window. I mean, they're never going to disclose it. I don't get it twisted, my bro. I am a Bissouma fan, but, you know, people just get excited, man. Lottie, true say. Lottie was linked, but that's a tired link. What a linked 11. What a linked 11. Well, a linked squad, really. You know, you look at our team and then you look at some of these names. Bro, Onana, Sedo, Ben White, Tapsoba, Tavares, Awa. Well, not Tavares anymore. Awa, Camavinga, Maddison, Isaac, Sterling, Mahrez, DePaul, Buendia, BISSOUMA, Neves, Odegaard, Correa, Locatelli, Isco, Coutinho, Ramsey, Max Aarons, Ramos, Belotti. What a Mazzolini, man. You know, Andre Silva, that's tired, but he was. Hey, Renato Sanchez. You're right, man. Andre Silva. Oh, hella name still. Hella name. Oh, what's that? It's crazy. Oh, like, fam. Man said Ramsdale, fam. You're right, though. S. Johnson. They're tied keepers. We were linked with Conde. What an 11, man. Well, someone said Kelly, John Joe Kelly. You're right. Bro, bare days, man. Forget doing all of that now, man. We've done it. Hella names, bro. This team is winning Tour de France. We're winning every. To be fair, probably a bit top heavy, but we do a little decent amount with that team, though, man. We do a decent amount with that team. What are you lot saying, man? Is there any other questions? It is so hard as a method of revamping a team. Is usually 4 or 5 players, and that's classed as major. So we're looking for the gauntlet with all this. We're looking to change. Well, in the same way, we never got to be in this crap squad overnight. I don't think we're going to get out of it overnight. So I don't think we're going to do all the business in terms of who we probably need to bring in or outgoings. But like I said, if we can do quote unquote the bulk of the business or quote unquote a significant part of the business, it would be great. It would be fantastic. You know, somebody said Sabitzer, so let me slap Sabitzer on this name as well, on this list as well. What a linked 11, bro. You know, all of this to ultimately end up with none of them. What is our priority position to buy? For me, centre half and centre midfield are the key areas, and then put a slash next to that. You've got right back people. So it is what it is, but I don't think there's anything else to speak about, people. So yeah, man, we've been here for an hour or so minutes. I'm gonna get out of here. The good news is I'll be back later. Shout out to the 44 people, 45 including myself, who have hit the like button. Please set your like buttons, hit your reminders, and do the rest of it, people. And yeah, man, I'll be back later today. In it, if you're too lazy, this video will go live and take you to this landing page. So again, set your reminders. It's England versus Italy. I want to see you all there, people. So yeah, man, I'm gonna go. Well, let me not lie. Might even, if the pubs are open, might even do a little pub thing quickly and do my thing, and then it's coming home and that. But yeah, man, on that note, it's coming home. I'll see you lot later. We've spoken about the Arsenal transfer news, so I'm gonna get out of here. Everybody hit the like button, stay safe, and do what you need to do. People, DG, I'm out.